Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your podcast. You just heard this intro, and yes, it is wildly divergent from what you have been hearing for the last couple of years when you tune into this podcast. It is a different opening setup. You're like, what's going on? Well, that will all be made clear very soon. For veterans of this podcast who have been with us for the nearly 4-year ride that it has been, that will sound a little bit familiar to you. I am so excited to bring one of the co-creators, one of my former co-hosts, back to this podcast. He's waiting, he's standing by. I'm really excited to have him here. He's the reason I can do this podcast now. He literally tutored me in the martial arts of podcast editing. I am now a green belt working on a black belt. So I'm a novice. I'm still grasshopper, but I'll get there eventually. I will be a Shaolin master of podcast editing. By damn, I'll get there. So I'm going to bring him on in just a quick second. But before we just jump into things, what a week. What a crazy week. We've had a maniacal Mad King president who's threatened to annihilate an entire country, wipe an entire civilization off the map. They called his bluff, and he chickened out because Trump always chickens out. So Taco Trump lives up to his name once again, thankfully. We've got astronauts circling the moon and doing things no human being has ever thought possible or has ever attempted before, venturing out into the cosmos, into the great beyond, further than any human being has ever made it. And that's been fantastic. We're fighting a useless war. Gasoline's expensive. And the astronauts went back to the moon. Somebody said, it's like we're living in 1969 all over again. Our president's a crook. The astronauts are back on the moon, and we're in a useless war. But nevertheless, the astronaut thing has been really inspiring. Some of you might know that my father worked for NASA for 17 years. It's space exploration, and that whole NASA thing is really cool. And by the way, let it be said that we achieved this. NASA achieved this without any help from Elon Musk. So suck it, billionaires. Suck it, Jeff Bezos. We don't need you. You're not that essential. So you can design your penis-shaped rockets, and you can do things. You can go to Mars and hopefully stay there. So anyway, I'm going to get off this soapbox. Really quickly, I watched a film that just opened this weekend. It's on Netflix. It's called Thrash. I thought it was pretty dull. It was formulaic, very predictable, and I did make a comparison to a 2019 film called Crawl, in which it's similar premise. A flood hit area along the coast, makes the marooned townspeople prey for bloodthirsty animals. And in Crawl, it was alligators, and that was very scary. In Thrash, it's bull sharks. So it's, if you want to watch it, it's the #1 trending movie on Netflix right now. It's not horrible. It's not like Sharknado horrible, but it's okay. It's passable. The special effects for the hurricane part of the show, that was actually pretty believable. So that's good. But other than that, a forgettable shark disaster porn film. So right away, I'm so excited to bring my former co-host, the one that started it all with me back in, my goodness, 2022. Jared Clavin, welcome back to the thing you helped bring to pass, the thing you helped build with me.
Thanks for having me, Joe. It's a pleasure to be back. We live a mile away from each other, and I haven't seen you for months. This is getting ridiculous.
I know.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling me out.
Okay. And that's fair. That is fair.
Friendship intervention right now.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair. And the truth is, I didn't want to say it on air, but the truth is,
I hate your freaking guts.
No, the truth is that I don't have much of a social life anymore. I'll go ahead and say it. I didn't want to reveal it, but I don't have much of a social life anymore because I'm up all night fighting crime in the city.
That's what's going on.
That's what's happening. And then I come back and I have to lick my wounds and and I'm
Yeah, all
bedridden.
tired and everything.
Yeah, I sleep during the day. It's a very vampire-like life. But somebody has got to, mete out justice
That's right.
in a way that's, with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility, Jared.
Absolutely. Fair
And
enough.
I have great power, as you know.
Totally know. Totally know
So,
it.
no, it's just, the rhythms. I mean, you have raised five boys, four boys.
Don't give me five. Couldn't
Don't give you
handle
five. Okay, so no Jackson 5 for you. No Jared 5.
it. Nope.
Four boys, four
Yeah.
adult young men, all of them fine young men, all of them such cool dudes. But whenever you get into the rhythm of family and their events and things that they have going on, and your kids are all grown up now, but my kids I've got one that's 21, one that's a junior in high school, and one that's fifth grade. And so
Yep. You're in the thick of it.
yeah, it's really hard to kind of like extricate myself and find
Mm-hmm.
free time. And let's be honest, I mean, I do give some time to the podcast, just a wee bit.
Couple hours here and there.
Yeah. How have you been? How have you? I mean, I know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
our listeners might not know. What have you been up
Life
to?
is good. Life is good. It's gotten much better. Um, you may remember I kind of crashed and burned when I got laid off.
Yes.
I went through a really dark mental space there for a while. Was not doing well, to be totally frank, but I'm doing much better. Have a really good job. My wife and I are doing great. The boys are well and generally happy and healthy and all that. So we've got our two youngest living with us. Our youngest is 22 now. So two at home, working and going to school and all that. So saving the big bucks. But yeah, life is good. I'm doing really well. Things are great.
Well, that's fantastic. You and I used to go to the movies all the time, and I do remember you went through a very rough patch with things with your former employer and the way things kind of shook out there. And it was really nice to have a lunch with you earlier this week and to learn that you've not only rebounded, but you're in a much, much better place than you were
Yeah.
before. You're making more money, which is always good in this economy as everything gets more expensive. You're
Absolutely.
doing well. You're doing well, and the family is stable, and you guys seem pretty happy.
Yeah, life is good. Can't complain.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We talked a little bit briefly earlier before this podcast about some things that we could discuss on here, and you wanted to discuss some things, and you kind of put them into a few categories, which I think would be kind of fun to explore. Things you're currently watching alone, things that you gave up on,
Yeah.
things that you watched and for reasons we can get into, you gave up on, things that you're like, you know what, there's a brand new season of this, and it seems like you might be waiting to binge the whole season.
That's my way.
Yeah, mine too. And like, for example, today or tomorrow, the second to last, the penultimate episode of the second season of The Pit on HBO comes out, and I'm like, nope. I'm waiting until the very last episode because I'm going to take a weekend and I'm going to try to binge all of season 2 over a weekend.
Yeah,
Because
it's a good time.
Because that's how the characters experience it. It's like
Yes.
every episode is an hour of that shift.
And you remember ER back in the day,
Yeah.
you'd have to wait a week before you watch the next episode, or Lost, or any number of shows that were on TV. And that is a tedious way to watch a show. It is just awesome to just pig out and watch the whole thing all in just a few days if you can, or even just a couple weeks. It's really fun.
And that's one of the reasons why our mutual love of that option. If you want to watch things piecemeal, one bite at a time, one episode at a time, fine. If that's your cup of tea, that's fine. But for those of us in the streaming era of television, which has completely transformed the landscape of how we view content and shows and even movies,
Yep.
the option to binge is so nice sometimes.
The
It's
other
so
the
nice.
other nice thing about that though is, like you mentioned, I've let some shows go.
Yeah.
So you can come and go. Like if it's a show that you just kind of like, but it's not like one you've got to have,
Yeah.
you can just forget about it for a while and then, oh yeah. and just pop in another episode and just kind of graze a little bit and
Yeah.
come back to it later. It's nice.
Lest we say you could come back and you could fixate on it for a little bit and
That's right.
put it down and then realize, oh, wait a minute, I've got to get through that season and I can stop fixating on it and I can binge it.
Binge it.
Dun-dun-dun.
Exactly.
Okay. By the way, I'm really happy we came up with that title for this podcast. I mean,
That was a good one.
nobody's got it. I've had some guests say that's such a clever name for a podcast. That's
It is. It's solid.
yeah. Well,
That was your idea, by the way.
no, it wasn't. It was our
Yes,
idea.
it was.
Well,
It was.
it is a shared vision. So I really want to get into this. You're
Okay.
watching two shows. I believe you're watching Landman with Billy Bob Thornton
Yeah.
and Homeland.
So I guess to lay the groundwork here. So you mentioned the classifications. So
Yeah.
I've got shows that I watch alone that
Yes.
I'm actively watching, shows that I've watched alone that I've let go for various reasons, and then shows that I watched before that have new seasons coming on that I will start here soon. And then I've got a couple lists of shows that I watch with my wife Heidi, exclusively with her. I don't watch them on my own. And then there's some regular binge shows that we just throw in like when we're cooking or just, doing other things or cleaning or whatever. And then I've got a movie recommendation for you. So yeah, I'm watching Homeland. That's my current big binge. That's with Claire Danes and I don't know how to say his last name, Mandy Patinkin.
That's close. That's pretty close. He's Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, so I watched the show for like 2 seasons, and he's a prominent character. I'm like, I know that face, I know that voice, I know who is this person. It's Inigo Montoya,
Yes.
but he's just aged a little bit,
Yes.
but he's still a badass. So
Yeah.
And then of course Damian Lewis, who is the red hair guy. He played the lieutenant and then the captain on what's that show?
Band of Brothers. Yeah.
Yes, Band of Brothers. So, Homeland. First of all, I would say if you really want to binge anything, just go back into history and find a show that has like 5 seasons or 6 seasons and it's totally wrapped. That way you don't have to worry about if you're gonna get all invested and then it falls off a cliff and they don't renew it. You can watch the whole story knowing that it has an ending, an actual proper ending. So Homeland, Claire Danes, Mandy Patinkin? I can't say that.
Patinkin, I think.
Patinkin, okay, and Damian Lewis and a whole host of others, obviously.
Yeah.
It's about it. I mean, I know it's old and maybe people don't know about it, but Claire Danes is a CIA boss. Well, not a boss, but she's a case manager or something like that. I don't know what they call themselves. Anyway, she's an operative in the CIA, and her job is to recruit human assets in the field and then utilize them to save America from itself sometimes.
Yeah. Enemies, foreign and domestic, right?
Yeah. So she's running around doing all kinds of CIA stuff. Meanwhile, she also is bipolar and no one knows it. Or she either bipolar or some sort of severe mental illness that if she doesn't get medicine, she will go freaking crazy and break shit. So, by the way, am I allowed to swear on here?
Of course, my friend.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I had one guest on here. Oh, he knows who he is. Mike, everything. If we bleeped out everything Mike said in that episode, it would sound like Morse code. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, they're calling for help. No. They're just bleeping out the cuss words. No, be yourself. I don't mind.
Okay. All right. So the Homeland, the story is also including the Damian Lewis's character, he's a returning POW from Iraq.
Yeah.
And so this is going back in time into America's history here, into recent history. Yes, it's 2026 now, but for reasons that Joe mentioned, the show is still very relevant.
Oh, yeah.
The landscape may have shifted, but even Iran is mentioned. All of the regular players are mentioned. And it really gives an interesting look into being American, being proud to be an American, nationalism, politics, personal allegiances and how far people will go to protect those, even when what they might have to do could be considered wrong by the prevailing thought process. So it's just a really interesting show where there's a lot of professional lines crossed. There's a lot of peril, and it's just a really intriguing show that kept me coming back, and I'm still not done with it. I think I'm in the last season.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I can, without giving spoilers away, and the show's been out for ages, right? And there's been, hundreds of other shows since, but it's still in the conversation when people talk about, excellent shows about U.S. diplomacy and war and how intelligence communities function in the shadows, and it still is in that conversation. I was hooked on Homeland until, spoiler alert. No, I'm not going to say. I won't say it.
You can say
Can I say it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can say it.
Okay. So I was it season 3 that?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
season 3.
Yeah.
Damian Lewis's character is killed off in the show, and I didn't realize that he was kind of my pathway, my interest. That path was through his character.
hmm
Nothing against Claire Danes, nothing
No.
against Mandy Patinkin. They're fascinating. But I was hooked on him and his character arc. And when his character arc ended and his character was out of the show and they killed him off, I didn't know that I would lose interest, but I just did. I just was like, I'm not as emotionally invested anymore. I put too much emotional investment in Damian Lewis's character. And when his character was gone, I was like, it's not there for me anymore. I don't know what
No,
happened.
I get it. I understand it because the show has definitely taken a notable change in focus and voice, and it's not the same intriguing story that hooked me in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's good enough to where I'm committed to finishing. There's enough interesting little tidbits that keep me coming back. So, but I understand that walking away, so it just doesn't have the same pull because that
Yeah.
story with his character and how Claire Danes' character coincide and how they collaborate and all these things.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous and really complicated story. And without it, it's just kind of the good guys chasing the bad guys.
Yeah. The Damian Lewis's character was just so fascinating. It was so hard to know what side he was on. It was he's a very gray character, not exactly on one side or the other. And
Right.
that ambiguity is what really sold me. And so when they killed him off, I was like, oh, and I tried to get into it. And you know what, though? I might have a moment of clarity like you and just be like, you know what? I'm going to go back and finish it.
All right.
I'm
Let
gonna
me
go-
know what you think.
Yeah, my schedule's open. I will go back and finish Homeland, and I'll pick up after what happened to his character is it Tehran? I think it was in Tehran.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pick up there, and we'll go
But
from
how
there.
weird? How weird would it have been had they brought him back? It would have been totally stupid.
Yeah, it would have been
You know what I
beyond
mean? Like-
beyond possible, right?
Like, oh wow, it was a fake dummy, and we're not going to say how he died, but oh,
Sure.
it was a fake stand-in for his death. That'd be dumb. And we've seen shows that do that.
Yeah,
It's like trying to throw a zinger in there. Wow, we really tricked you. No, you just made it look stupid. You just reduced the quality of this show.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, there's been too many of characters that you saw them die, or did you? And it's been done to death, really. Yeah,
I
and that
agree.
show is not one of those shows to do that. I understand the CIA functions. Subterfuge is part and parcel for what the CIA does, but even then, that would have strained believability. Probably lost viewers anyway.
Yeah,
They've done that.
yeah, definitely.
So the other thing you're watching is Tyler Sheridan's, Yellowstone, created the Yellowstone Cowboy, Yellowstone. This is my land. This is our property, our land. It's been in our family for generations. Anyway, that guy, and he creates. I keep clearing my throat, but yeah, sorry.
You could probably go on. You
No,
were on
could
a
I?
roll there for
Was
a
I
minute.
really? Okay, get back into it. This is our land. I don't care what happens. I will give you. The bank here will pay $5 billion. Nope, this is our land. We're gonna die. We're gonna be buried on our land. This is our land. Our land. And it's like,
Nice
A
work.
couple hundred years ago, you stole it from the Indians, but whatever. It's your
Yeah,
land now.
that's
Uh,
right.
so now they have land. Man, speaking of land, as which is a common theme with Yellowstone, this is
Yep.
our land. We will die on this land. You will come and take this land if you want and die. But anyway, this is our land. This is anyway. Sorry, I'm yeah, I'm like on a broken record here. So anyway, speaking of land, he creates a show called LANDMAN,
Yeah,
the man of land, LANDMAN. Only this
indeed.
time it's Billy Bob Thornton, and it's kind of cool because it gives you a glimpse into how the oil industry functions in the Southwest. And this
Yeah.
takes place in Texas. This takes place in the Panhandle of Texas. I watched the first season and I had strong feelings about it, but I want to hear what you think, and I'll tell you what I think or why I walked away from the show eventually.
Okay, so my sister Andrea, who appeared as a guest with us a
Yes.
couple years ago, so
Yeah.
she recommended it to me. Her and her husband really like it. So I knew it was one of those that I couldn't get Heidi on board with
Yeah.
in time because our schedule is limited and we just don't have enough time. So
Sure.
I watched it on my own and just didn't tell her about it. I'm cheating on my wife, everybody. I'm sorry.
It does feel
With
like cheating,
Landman.
doesn't it? When you get when,
Sometimes.
when you get invested in a show and you're
Yeah.
like, and then she walks into the living room, what are you watching? This just show, and then I don't do anything to try and sell it. I'm all, oh, it's a show. It's got a lot of violence and
Yeah.
a lot of objectionable things in it. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't
You
like
wouldn't like it at all. No.
it. Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
it's a good show. The character choices here are just so interesting.
Hmm.
Billy Bob Thornton plays this guy. He's the landman, which is
Yeah.
a job for the oil companies. He manages all the crews who manage and all the drilling. So he's in charge of a lot of things, a lot of dangerous things, and a lot of personalities going all different ways. So a lot of the show is him in a truck
Yeah.
driving from one meeting or one disaster to another. So that part is just interesting. And like you mentioned, the peak, and I don't know how much to believe, but I have to believe that there's some truth to how they portray it in terms of the danger of the work, the market discussions, the culture, they're called roughnecks for a reason.
Sure. Yeah.
So I have to believe that some of it, at least, is based in reality. But he's also got this crazy ex-wife who is so confident and so full of herself, but she's also kind of benevolent. She's just super, super confident. It's a really interesting combination to see somebody so sure of themselves, but also so happy to do good things for other people in really funny ways. They've got this daughter who is pretty much as self-obsessed as her mother, but she's almost equally obsessed with her own mom. So they are two peas in a pod. And then this son who's just kind of a weird looking dude. He kind of does his own thing. He doesn't seem to fit in the family. He and the sister don't like each other at all. So the family dynamic there is hilarious. And all of these people live together with a couple of coworkers that just makes a really wonky home life. But it's all the intrigue that goes into running a big oil business and the deals, both shady and above board, that are going on at all times. And we're talking deals with many, many zeros. These are not small potatoes here. They're talking about $10 million is like a small deal. We're talking 150 upwards into the billions. It's crazy the money that they talk about. And they fly around on a jet, no big deal. They own the production of gas, so why should they care about that, right? But I think it's just the combination of characters and how they clash and collide. It's just such an interesting commentary on families.
Yeah. It's certainly an interesting family dynamic. Allie Larder is I refer to her as a sex kitten. It's like,
That's
know,
fitting.
right? I mean,
Very fitting.
I'm here to support my man. my man's going out to earn an honest wage, and I'm going to look hot. And when he
Yeah,
comes home, I'm going to make him a meal, and then we're going to make love and be loud. And it's
that's
like,
right.
holy cow. And then the daughter, who's 17 in
Yeah.
the show,
Yep.
there's a partial nude scene with her. She wanders through the kitchen half naked. And I'm like, that's why I walked away from the show, Jared. I'll get right to the
Uh,
point because I was just like, should I be watching this?
felt
So
like a creeper.
it did. I felt like a voyeur, like ogling this, and it's like front and center. I mean, it's like I
I
don't
mean, they
know.
don't show any
No,
bits, but
yeah,
it's just, scantily covered.
yeah, and, and
Yeah, so
and
it
the
made the characters that witnessed that very uncomfortable as well. So,
it did, and I mean, I started watching that, and Billy Bob Thornton, who I just love. I've loved him ever since Sling Blade.
yeah,
Have you seen Sling
I
Blade?
have. That's a great film.
Fried taters and get some taters. I love that
He
character.
does a great job.
He does. I've loved Billy Bob Thornton and everything from Tombstone to Sling Blade. Um, and even the first season of Fargo, he plays like an out-of-towner hitman,
Hmm.
which was so good. Bad Santa, everything Billy Bob Thornton does is really good. But the whole show, he is just lecturing everybody. Everybody's an idiot. And after a while, I'm like, it would be hard to be friends with this guy. But yeah,
He's
that's
a
just
miserable dude.
yeah. And by the way, there are a lot of scenes in that pickup truck. But I was thinking when you said that, I'm like, your former job, you had a company vehicle, you had a pickup truck, and I imagine
Yeah,
similar things. I mean, you're
lots of driving.
lots of driving through the Central Valley of California,
Hmm.
which is a similar landscape to
Yeah,
Landman, and you're going to solve problems. If that makes
you can
sense.
just call me Landman.
Call Clavin Landman, and you show up and you talk to everybody like they're idiots. You don't know what you're doing. This is solar power. Oil is way better. Anyway, I don't hate the show. I just kind of felt like the character I did like a lot was the son, the
Hmm.
kind of son that you said it best. I mean, doesn't really fit in with the family
No,
dynamic. He's kind of doing his own thing, which I really admired.
I do too.
And that's the only part of the character that I miss by giving up second season. I didn't watch the second season, and I might come back to it. I
Yeah,
might.
yeah. If you feel like it,
Yeah, if I feel like it.
there's so many options out there. So,
That's true. That's true. I want to talk a little bit about some of the other shows you said. You said Fallout and
oh
Invincible.
yeah. So these are two that I've been watching that have started a new season, and I'm just waiting for the episodes to accumulate.
Okay.
So Fallout, that's on Prime. That's based on a video game I've never played, but the first season I watched it without knowing anything about the video game lore and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's basically a story about dystopian US after nuclear war has just ravaged and destroyed the land. There's a group of people who foresaw this coming and they invested and sold and lived in these fallout bunkers. And then everyone else has just survived in their own way up on the surface and are just making it by in whatever way they can. And there's a lot of barbarism, a lot of evil, a lot of mean stuff that goes on. And one of these pod people, fallout shelter people, goes to the surface and tries to find her father. And that's the story of this woman. And she's a young woman. I think she's portrayed to be about maybe 17, 19, something like that. So already kind of naive in the world, but then even more naive because she has no idea what the world even is. Her whole concept of what the world is and how it became what it is so warped by her own little bubble dwelling there. So seeing her engage with all these characters that she had no idea even existed is, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. And the cinematography and the effects and all that are just excellent. It's such a good story. Such a good story. I'm really excited to let those season 2 episodes build. So I'll just pig out on that sometime soon.
Yeah, I've gotten about halfway through season 2. My wife and I are doing it kind of piecemeal. When we have time, we'll sit down, we'll throw in an episode. There is a show that we do. We have another show that we're watching, and I haven't mentioned it at all. And I've been wanting to hold off even talking about it because you, of all people, I want to ask about it.
Okay.
So this is a surprise. We haven't discussed this prior, but I'm all caught up on Invincible.
Okay.
I'm all caught up, and unfortunately, Amazon Prime is releasing that one episode at a time per week. So I can't wait to see where that's going. That's very satisfying viewing.
And my
But
boys turned me on to that one.
did they? Invincible? Oh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
Such a good story. And it's a animated series, but
Very adult.
it is very adult from a teenager's point of view.
Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting. It's about all the family dynamics, learning that your dad may not be who they have always portrayed themselves to be, finding yourself placed under incredible responsibility without even asking for it or seeking it, but deciding how or when or if to do the right thing, whatever that is in this world of gray that we and they all live in. So
That's well put. I could not have put it better myself. That's a wonderful premise for what the show is really about. It's about fathers and sons, like you said. It's brilliant. It's brutal. It's brutal. Some of the most brutal animated violence you will ever see, and it's but there's a thirst for it. I think there's a thirst for it because, not a thirst, a bloodthirst, a bloodlust for it, as it were, a fetishist bloodlust. You know, people that want to drink the blood and say, "Hail Satan." There's a certain allure to this show. No.
The boys, anyone?
Yeah, we got to get into that in a second. But yeah, Invincible it's great. It's great, but I think the interest, and it kind of dovetails into what has made The Boys so popular. It's that, you know, for years, superhero shows have been kind of homogenized and prepackaged and presented to us as the hero always wins.
Yep.
Good over evil, no morally gray characters.
Right.
There's clearly defined good guys, clearly defined bad guys, and the outcome is never in doubt. We know that the good guys will prevail, even if it's in a subsequent sequel, even if it takes a few films. But we know that good overcomes evil. Yada yada yada. The world is right. Cats and dogs live together. And I think people were getting kind of sick and tired of that kind of rote, formulaic formula, as it were. Well, formula.
It's too predictable.
It is, isn't it? And it takes away some of the stakes. It lowers the stakes.
Yeah, it
right?
does.
And
Yep.
so
when they win, it's less satisfying because you always knew they would anyway. So who cares?
right. And in too many film franchises for superheroes, and Marvel is the worst at this. DC a little bit, but Marvel, you'll kill a character and then you'll find a way to bring him back. There's a multiverse. There's a different timeline. There's a special Infinity Stone that allows you to go back into the past and change the future and undo. And it's, in DC, it was Superman flying backwards around the world and reversing time and saving Lois Lane. It's like, it's fine if you're going to do it once or twice, but they've done it to death.
Too many times.
And so along comes Invincible, and I'm like, no, you will see characters totally die, and they don't come back.
Nope.
Homeland, not Homeland. I'm thinking Homelander, the character from The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
But The Boys the same way. I mean, you'll see characters, and then you won't see them again. They'll just be killed, and they're off the show. They're off. And I'm like, and that is a little bit more grounded in reality. And I think that's where comic book fans, I think that's what they were looking for.
I think so.
The reason why they don't get it, I think, in Marvel, and I'm on a soapbox here, is because this stuff is intellectual property. They're selling merch with it. You don't just kill off Peter Pan. Sorry, Peter Parker. Sorry, Peter Pan. Well, what the heck? Peter Pan too. What the heck? Disney owns it all anyway. You don't kill off these major. You don't kill off. I mean, you can kill an Iron Man, but you don't kill off all these characters. They're making money in merch and deals, and so you kind of feel like these committees that put together the content that make up these films are looking for ways to keep as many of the tried and true characters alive because they're money makers.
Right.
And that kind of sucks. And that's why I like about Invincible
Yeah.
and The Boys is that, hey, no one's safe. Doesn't feel that
I
way.
had to give up on The Boys though. I was watching that. I watched two, 3 seasons. How many seasons are there? Four? Or is
Five?
it five? Oh, that's right.
This
Okay.
is the fifth and final season. Yeah.
So I watched 3 seasons, and I think the last episode I watched, or close to it, that kind of mortally wounded my psyche was the penis tunnel scene. I had to go. I had to go. I just couldn't do it anymore. You know exactly what I'm talking
I
about.
do. And you know
Oh my
it's
goodness, that was awful.
you know what you know what? That is the last episode my wife watched with me.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
with
it.
you, Irene.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
Yeah. She was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
It just broke me, Joe. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I get that because I watched some of that and I'm like, come on now. Now you're just it's like you're trolling everyone on the show. It's like,
Yeah.
oh really? You don't think we can show that and get away with it?
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Here we go. Now, do we use paper mache or silicone for this shot?
Right, right. Yeah, there's so many bodily fluids on that show. There's so much. There's frontal nudity. The show is. It's surprised it's not. There's no such thing as an NC-17 rating
It's
for
amazing
TV
that there
shows.
isn't, because it would earn it.
Yeah, it's. I used to think some of the worst content type shows you could find would be on HBO, but I got to tell you, there's been a couple things that have come out on Amazon Prime where I'm going, wow, it's almost like you're trying to out
Yeah,
Skinamax Cinemax here.
that's
What are you
right. That's right.
doing?
And the story is intriguing. I would like to continue, but I find myself looking away so often, or like muting, while
Yeah,
some grotesque, just bodies being destroyed or something. I can't do it. So,
yeah,
uh, I like the story. I can't do the visual or the audio. It's just too much. It's too
yeah.
graphic for me.
And I get that. There is
Yeah.
certainly an ick factor when it comes to the
Yeah.
boys. The thing that I really enjoyed learning was that the boys were clearly the show was clearly mocking and appropriating the MAGA
Yeah.
Fox News
But they didn't
conservative.
realize that until like 2 or 3 seasons in, before
Yeah,
those dumbasses realized, hey, what? We're the bad guys? Screw that guy.
we're the butt of the joke.
What a bunch
Hey,
of morons.
I know.
So obvious. All that proves is that some people don't have the ability to look into their own minds and say, huh, what is it I think about me? What is it I think about my perspective? Why am I right? Could it be possible that I'm not right? That maybe it's not black and white, that maybe it's shades of gray?
Yeah.
Huh.
And,
No.
and for those people, I think the problem is that, look, I think a lot of them want to watch. I mean, we're all guilty. I don't think this goes down political lines. Some of us want to learn something from what we watch, and some of us just
Right.
want to be entertained
And
and not
something,
think.
yeah. And I think depending on my mood, I want all of those things at different times.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I want to be educated. I want to be entertained. I want to be lulled to sleep. I want to be numbed, whatever. Uh,
And
edified. Yeah, I need a good cry. Let's watch something beautiful and sad and
yeah.
stuff.
Well,
You
the
know?
same thing goes for, and we have to speak to it. I mean, there are some shows where I'm like, I don't want anything that's going to require me to. I don't want one of those mystery shows. Glass Onion, Wake Up Dead Man, Benoit Blanc. One of those like
Yeah.
look for clues. You got to be glued to the TV. Every word said
No,
in here could
it's too
point
much
to.
work.
It's too much work. Sometimes I'm like, there's a place for that, and I have an appetite for it at some point. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I've had a full day. I'm putting this on, and I'm gonna scroll on my phone a little bit.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's like going to the escape room and paying money and spending your time to do all the work to get out of this friggin' box. I hate those things so much.
Right.
That is not entertainment. It's just work, and I don't want to have to think
Yeah.
I'm off goofing around.
And I think that that's where a lot of
Yes, I
the
am that shallow sometimes.
well, that's where I think happened with a lot of these right-winger manosphere viewers of the boys. You know, they
Oh,
loved
right.
they didn't understand the irony of the misogyny from the male
No,
villain characters. The
nope.
guy that plays Homelander, not to be confused with the TV show Homeland, by the way, but the guy that plays Homelander, his name is Anthony Starr. He's an Australian actor, and he was interviewed. I saw this. He was interviewed, and this isn't hidden. I mean, he's talked about this in several interviews. He's like, "What's the biggest surprise reaction you've had about the show?" And if you don't know the boys, one of the most vile, hateful, worst villain characters ever created in television history is the character Homelander that he plays. You hate him. You can't wait to see him. You can't wait to see him get his comeuppance. And it hasn't happened. We're 5 seasons and it still hasn't happened. Anyway, they interviewed the actor, and Anthony Starr said the thing that surprises me the most is that some people love my character and just love him for what he does and what he stands for.
Yep.
And he says, and sometimes I'll just walk away and go, "Whew, what show are they watching?"
That's the thing.
It chills his blood to think that.
Same
Some people,
show,
yeah,
totally different perspective.
yeah, it's like people watching old Hitler speech videos and going, "What a charismatic speaker! I am inspired by that rhetoric."
I
Oh
think
my
I
God.
also hate a certain
Yeah,
demographic of my country all of a sudden.
yeah. I
Yeah,
would. I want to pound the pulpit when I speak passionately.
right. It's
Yeah, I like it,
I
boy.
I do think though that the people who like
Yeah,
Homelander,
yeah,
I think that they already have misogyny and hatred for actual freedom in their hearts already.
yes,
Just like I'm guessing a lot of people who liked Hitler
yeah,
and agreed with what he said. Yes, some people were coerced, but I think the fervent, they just already had those thoughts in their head. And here's someone who just dared say it out on the national stage.
yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There are a lot of people that draw parallels to the rhetoric that Homelander uses to the rhetoric our current president of the United States
Right,
uses. You know,
right.
Homelander will say some really dark and messed up stuff, and then I'll go, "Wow, that's pretty bad." And then I'll read a Truth Social post by Trump saying he wants to wipe out an
Right.
entire civilization in another
Hmm.
country, commit war crimes. And he
Yep.
thinks that type of rhetoric is going to bring people together and make deals.
It brings some people together.
Yeah, that reminds me of my favorite quote by Henry Rollins. Nothing brings people together more than mutual hatred. Remember
That's
that,
true.
America, as you bomb
Yeah.
all these places in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this isn't a political show. I get a little political on it, and I
Yeah,
apologize.
you do.
So to people that
You
want to listen
absolutely do.
to, sorry.
Okay, well, I'll take it to a new corny level. So one of the other shows I've abandoned is called The Good Place.
Okay.
What was her name? I like the actors in it. Do you remember who's in there? Ted
I
Danson and
Yeah, my wife and daughter
anyway,
or my wife watched The Good Place, and I know who you're talking about. She's blonde and she's married
yeah,
to Dax
she
Shepard.
plays in the show called Nobody Wants This, which is not on my list, but we're
Yeah.
waiting for another season. That is an excellent show to watch with your spouse. That's a
Okay.
great, great
Nobody
show.
wants this.
Anyway,
Okay.
she's one of the leads on that show. The reason I quit it is because it's too damn corny. It's just dumb. It's just goofy.
Yeah.
And I'm all for goofy. I mean, come on. But it's just a level of goofy that I'm just not down with for some reason.
Yeah.
My threshold of goofy has been surpassed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, The Good Place. I can't do it anymore. So that one's off the list.
Okay.
That one's off the list. And I don't feel guilty about it. I will not readdress it,
Okay.
or it's over.
That happens.
Okay.
That
It
happens.
does.
It's not you, it's them. No, it's not them, it's you. That's
That's
what
right.
it is.
It is me.
We have to
It is
break
me.
up. We have to break up. And I've done this with shows too. I'm like,
Sure.
we have to break up. I'll break up with shows where I'm like, oh, that didn't get renewed for another season. Well, there's no point finishing this season then.
Exactly.
There was a sci-fi show called Raised by Wolves that was on
Oh,
Showtime.
right. Hmm.
Excellent production values. but just couldn't find an audience.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're not renewing it after this season. I'm like, well, then what the hell am I watching for?
Yeah. Just might as well delete it. It's
Yeah.
not worth the time.
Yeah, I'm done. Same thing with a TV show on HBO, which I really liked, which was pretty vulgar, but it was called Deadwood. It was about a western town in Deadwood, North Dakota, and it was
Cool.
really good. And then that abruptly ended. And then they brought it back. They brought like an HBO movie years later, but I'm like, it's not the same thing.
No.
So I'll give up a show if you're going to prematurely bail on us. I'll give up.
It's not worth it.
The show I've been trying to talk to you about, and
Okay, let's hear it.
Can't wait. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to just say it. If you know Jared, you know that his all-time favorite movie is The Matrix, but up there in the top 3, I think, is The Burbs.
Oh yeah.
With Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
What a great film. It's one of my favorites.
Hilarious and heartwarming.
Such a great show. The Peacock. Are you aware of this? Peacock.
I am. And I've been hesitant to dip into it. I've heard some reports that people really like it, like personal people that I've talked to, people have said that they really enjoy it. I haven't heard any negative stuff, but I really like Keke Palmer. I like her a lot. She's an excellent actor, and I just really like her work. But I'm a little scared because I don't want to not like it. That's the thing, because I do love The Burbs so much, but I don't want to not like this version. And it's kind of reminded me of Ghostbusters when they did the all women's reboot, right?
Sure.
I wanted to like that. I gave it my open heart, and it was just not that good. It wasn't because of the women headlining. I really enjoy all the work of those women.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the story. I just thought it was kind of goofy. So I haven't tried it. How far in are you now?
I'm almost done with the first season, and that is another show that my wife and I, if we have an hour, 45 minutes over a weekend, we'll put in an episode.
Okay.
And I think the entire first season's out by now. It debuted after the Super Bowl. I know that. And I had the same kind of reluctance that you have, Jared. I'm like, I really revere The Burbs. But I was told before going into it that, brace yourself, because the pacing of the story, it is completely different. The pace of it unfolds slowly. There's lots of red herrings, and by red herrings I mean you think it's going one way, it goes the other way, which is what happens in The Burbs, of course. You think one thing and then it's something else completely. But this takes its time. It's taking its time over an entire season, and there is a nice cameo. You remember Miss Rumsfeld, who hey, Miss Rumsfeld, no tan lines.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That's right. Yeah.
So Miss Rumsfeld, that actress, Wendy Shaw.
Oh, she's in it?
She's the librarian in the town that they're in.
That's great. I'm glad they brought some of the OGs in. That's great.
Yeah. So I'm like, I see her and I'm like, it's totally her. She's not playing the same character, but she's kind of cameoing in it, and she's been in a few scenes. But it's the dynamic is different. You're dealing with couples that live in this cul-de-sac. There's no reference to the other Burbs, so it's its own thing.
And it should be. That is as it should be.
And there's the same beat up looking house. Apparently, the cul-de-sac they're filming on is a Warner Brothers studio lot where they made the original Burbs.
Wow.
They're making this one also there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
And the TV series that you mentioned that you did recommend, and I'm skipping ahead here. You said The Middle with Patricia Heaton. The Middle. Well, The Middle, they filmed that near where they filmed The Burbs. That's a Warner Brothers lot. Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
So they have different kind of homes, and they'll film around there. So, yeah, I don't know. Would be interested to hear what you think if you do get into it.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
And I don't have the Peacock Plus feature that eliminates ads, so that's a little frustrating. There'll be natural ad breaks, and I'll be like, gosh, I got to hear about AT&T and Chevrolet. Damn it. Fine. Yes, plug ESPN. Fine. All right, we're back into it. And so that's a little frustrating. It feels like more like traditional TV viewing, which I don't really care for anymore.
Yeah. We've moved past that.
Yeah, yeah, we've evolved, man.
But we're not, because ads are a part of our daily life.
That's right. They're going to find a way to put ads in our dreams. It's like a
Absolutely.
Black Mirror episode.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Oh, man, that's a great show. That is a great show. It's the Twilight Zone of our times.
It is.
You wanted to talk a little bit about a movie that you watched called A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Is that it? Big,
A
bold,
bold, beautiful journey.
bold, but not bald, right? A
No, not a
bald,
bald, beautiful journey, but
no
a
hair club
bold,
for men.
beautiful journey.
A bold, bald, beautiful. No, a big, bold. That's a lot of alliteration there.
A lot, a
A
lot of
big,
stuff in there.
bold, beautiful journey. Okay. Colin
All right, so
Farrell,
this one,
Margot
this is
Robbie.
Margot Robbie
Yeah,
and Brendan, what's his last name?
Colin Farrell, I think, is who you're
Yeah, oh,
talking.
Colin Farrell. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting the Banshees of Inisherin characters mixed up in my head.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Okay, so Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie, they are two people who find themselves inexplicably on the same journey through supernatural means of traveling through time. And it sounds corny as hell when I tee it up that way, but what this is, it's a story of two people journeying through their past, and we get to see as an audience how they became who they are today. And it reminded me of, it's all the touchy-feely, warm, fuzzy stuff of falling in love with another person, and but then suddenly being faced with their demons, or them being faced with our demons and our baggage, and learning how to manage each other's emotions. Do you ignore it? Do you just endure it? Or do you face it head on and try to come to some new understanding, new upgrade in you know your relationship, things like that. But it's a thinking film. It's kind of ethereal, it's kind of dreamlike, and it's definitely not meant to be taken literally. That would be ridiculous to take this film literally. It's an art piece, but it's a beautiful art piece, and it just gave me all. It reminded me all about just falling in love and then growing up with somebody and trying to figure out who the hell we are together and individually, and all the positive and negative that goes along with that. It's a tricky process of growing old with somebody, because two people are changing at all times. If you're not changing, you're not growing, I will say. And sometimes people truly do grow apart, and sometimes they are able to grow together. But this film tackles some of those things, and it's done in a really beautiful way. And of course, Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie, neither of them are bad to look at. So it's a nice story. It really is.
I'm glad you mentioned this movie. My wife and I did go see that on a date night last year,
Yeah.
and we both enjoyed our experience. Now, the critic in me is nitpicking and picking apart certain things, but one thing, you can't take this away from the film. It certainly is an unconventional story about trauma and the baggage and
Yes.
the things that we bring to a relationship, that we need to be honest with ourselves if we're bringing things, especially unresolved things, into a
Yes.
relationship. We have to be honest with ourselves and also be compassionate enough to recognize that our partners may react to that or
Yep.
to those reveals in ways that that if we don't resolve it, if we don't face it, if we don't take care of it, it can have unintended consequences. And so
Absolutely.
by the way, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, I'd love to see them act opposite each other in other things.
I would
Their
too. They're
chemistry was
really
really
good
good.
together.
Yeah,
Very good dynamic.
yeah, yeah. And I like the they would walk into a field and there would be a door, and you would just walk through
Yeah.
that door, and
Yeah.
you would be somewhere else in time. And so that was actually quite clever and
It was.
visually interesting.
Yeah. And I had to remind myself when I was watching it, the literalist in me.
Sure.
I still fight that black and white thinking, like, hey, why the hell is there a door in a field? Well, you dipshit. It's an art piece. It's a commentary. It's not literal.
Yeah.
So, I had to suspend my literal thinking and realize, oh, this is like poetry. Okay.
It's like trying to watch It's like trying to watch Interstellar or Star Wars with, an astrophysicist. You know that that's actually not possible.
Yeah.
Shut
Like, shut
up.
up. You're ruining it.
Hyperspace, what is that? You would actually need this much. Shut up. Can somebody put tape over his mouth? It's
Seriously. Just
called,
trying to watch something here.
it's a movie, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. If it's available to stream, it's well worth a quiet night in with you and your significant other.
It is.
It will evoke things, I think. And
You know what's funny though, Joe?
Yeah.
I watched that and it made such an impact on me. I thought, man, that'd be a great date night movie. Well, then I realized I was telling Heidi about it, and she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen that." I'm like, "What? You were there with me. I'm sure you were there with me." And I rolled back into my memory. I was sitting on a plane when I watched that film, but it reminded me so much of me and Heidi's journey together in life.
yeah.
It really felt like she was there. It was really cool. But then kind of funny, like, oh man, am I getting really old? Or I imagined her on the plane with me, or imagined sitting on the couch watching a film.
Hey,
Cuckoo.
no. It's happening to me a lot. And if my wife was hearing you say this, she would be giving me looks like you do that all the time. Like recently, because I'll go to the movies with my son, and I'll go to the movies with my daughter to see movies that my wife doesn't really interested in. And I'll be like, I almost got into an argument with my wife because I was almost implying like our time together must not be very memorable because we did watch that together and you've already forgotten. She was like, I did not watch that with you. I go, you did. You sat right next to me. We watched it. And then my daughter chimes in, no, Dad, we watched that. I was like,
Oh man,
oh, oops.
we're all losing it, Joe.
We are.
All downhill from here.
Like I watched The Notebook with my oldest daughter. I had
yeah.
to. She made me. She wanted me to.
That's-
I'm like, all right, I'll watch it.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I got to ask before we wrap here. Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I order you and Heidi to
I
go
know.
see
I
it.
know.
You go
I've got
see
to
it.
do it.
Go
Yeah,
see
we'll
it.
see it soon.
If you have a spare week, I mean, if you were to watch it after it's in the cinema, it's just not there. I mean,
Yeah.
the splendor, the shock and awe of the big screen, it's all gone. It's almost like half the experience if you're just gonna stream it. I mean, by all means, please watch it. I'd love to hear what you think
Yeah.
about it
All
because
right,
it
I'll go
blew
see it.
my mind.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to you earlier about this. There's been 3 films in the last 3 years in a row that have come out well outside of award season circuit. You know, let's be honest with you. I mean, like Marty Supreme and some of these other films came out during award season, you know, because they want to make the biggest impact in the awards season. And it's a pretty crowded field, right? Everything Everywhere All at Once came out at the beginning of the year, the earlier part of the year, 3 years ago. And people were still talking about it and praising it and ended up winning Best Picture.
Yep.
Sinners last year came out, and even though it didn't win Best Picture, it certainly won in several different
it did well.
categories. And people were talking about, I mean, it came out at the beginning of the year. It came out, April of last year? And people were still talking about it 8 months later when it was time to announce the Oscars. And I feel that the same thing is going to happen with Project Hail Mary.
All right.
Come out in the
You
earlier
heard
part
it
of the
here
year. Yep.
first, folks.
Yep. I think that Project Hail Mary is on track to be nominated for Best Picture. And by the way, there's 10 films that make that category. They're going to give Project Hail Mary Best Picture love. I'm not saying it's winning because that would be presumptuous. I haven't seen anything else, of course, but it's definitely going to make the top 10 films.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
I will go see it. I
Yeah,
promise.
you got to see it
In the theater.
in the theater. All right. Well, listen, Jared, it's been so good having you back
Yeah,
on.
it's been fun.
Yeah, this has been great. We will have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm down.
To everyone who's listening, I try to close these up with not a spiritual thought, but certainly something to be said. I know, something to be said about your mental well-being. And a lot of what I say about, making sure that your mental health is in a good place is a conversation I continue to have with myself. You'll hear me go off on current events. You'll hear me get a little bit political on here And living in that headspace, I mean, I have a limited bandwidth for that stuff anyway, and it can really wear you down. What I'm saying is, like talking with Jared, talking with you, having that lunch we had earlier this week, that's good health, mental health experience.
It is.
Always good, isn't it?
That is. It really is.
I had a friend who went through a personal tragedy recently, and he lives almost on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And he was really struggling. And it's someone we know. We can talk off camera about this because I don't.
What you're talking about.
Okay, you do. And he went through. He's really struggling, and his wife said, "You should call Joe."
That's good advice.
Yeah, and I was like, me, I'm not the happy-go-lucky guy. So, but he did. He called me. He said, "Hey, can we talk?" And so after work this week, I spoke to him, and we were both laughing and having a good time. And it took him out of that headspace for a little bit. And I'd never thought of myself as someone you would call to be put into a better mood. But you never know what your effect is on people.
Hey, you're a righteous dude, Joe.
Oh, you're too nice, man. You're too
Good
nice.
Good friends are rare, and they're good medicine. So it's great to. I mean, still, I still call us out. We live a mile apart. Give me a break. We need to see each other more often. This is ridiculous.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I tell you, when I was on my mission, I was in upstate New York, and I met people in Buffalo, New York, who had never been to Niagara Falls their entire lives.
That's insane to me.
Niagara Falls is a 30-minute drive away to see one of the 8th wonders of the world, and I actually met people. No, I've never been.
I mean, I've never been to the rodeo here, so I guess it's the same thing, right?
Oh, you're missing it. You're missing it. Yeah. So, well, listen, to everybody out there, I've got some exciting things coming up. The next episode is an exclusive. I will be sitting down with the 2 directors of a recent documentary called Just Sing. And this documentary is about the National A Cappella College competition. It's actually international. And it tells the story of a University of Southern California a cappella college group called the Vocals, the SoCal Vocals, nice little pun. And they're competing for an unprecedented 6th national title in New York City. So they travel from California to New York City, and I get to sit down with the 2 directors, and there is some other great things coming. I've written reviews for movies that I have been told I can't post publicly or discuss yet because there's an embargo on them. So I'm working with a PR firm in New York City, and they're sending me screener links to things. And so I can't wait to share these things with you. I've got like 3-4 reviews for 3-4 really awesome movies coming out. We will get to them. We will talk about them, but I can't mention them yet. So,
fair enough.
So that's coming out. Jared, always good. Always good to have you back. Yeah, anytime, man. To everyone else, I'll see you later. Take care of yourselves, and be safe out there, man. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Joe, I've got to go to the bathroom so bad.